All right, peace and wellness family. I hope that y'all are well and happy and whole and all that good stuff. And I hope that y'all can see me and hear me. Huh? I see y'all in the chat, butterflies in the sky. Hey, Deja. Hi, Zane. Much love to y'all. For those of you who do not know, the butterflies represents the wellness community, the tribe. We are a vibe, the vibe. Okay, get into it. Y'all, the intentions for this video is to discuss our upcoming new moon in Libra and solar eclipse that we have happening tomorrow, October 2nd, and it peaks at 2:49 p.m. Eastern Time, and the shadow period will last until October 5th. So I want to discuss the meaning of this planetary alignment, identify how it may impact our energy, and let's talk about some practices that we can implement to utilize all of this energy for our wellness. Y'all, of course, first, I got to give a little life update, but this is not even a life update. This is just a what time it is update. Okay, y'all, we are officially in October, and October is not just a month of harvest and blessings, it is also Hoodoo Heritage Month. So, happy Hoodoo Heritage Month, y'all. Much peace and prosperity and wellness to all the Hoodoo practitioners, all the root workers, all my Gullah Geechee people, and everybody who is new and learning about Hoodoo and excited about practicing. This is the month to honor and celebrate the cultural tradition, spiritual practice, the system that is Hoodoo. In the wellness community, y'all know I gave y'all a video this morning about 4 a.m. I also released it on my socials, giving a little background, a little history about Hoodoo, and talking about some foundational beliefs. But really quickly, for those who are not aware, Hoodoo is a set, right, of African American spiritual practices that was started by our African American ancestors who were stolen from Africa and brought here to America. And when they came, of course, they already had their own African traditional religious and spiritual practices that they utilized, and they were forced to hide them because, of course, a lot of our ancestors were not allowed to speak their language, to practice their spiritual practices. They were outlawed, they were banned, they were beaten, harmed, hurt if they ever openly practiced. So they had to hide their African traditional practices, African spiritual practices in the church. They had to practice silently in the house, right? But they also did a lot of late night gatherings and like ring shouts and spiritual services and things like that. So that is a bit of a quick explanation of the history of Hoodoo, and why we still honor and revere Hoodoo. Because if you are African American, Hoodoo is a part of your culture. It's just a part of who you are. And even if you didn't know that you were practicing Hoodoo, or the elders would say root work or the root, okay, the root, practice the root. If you didn't know that you were practicing it, this is your, oh my God, that it was too likely in your household, likely in your church. Some traditional superstitions and practices are steeped in and founded in Hoodoo, such as if you grew up in a household and y'all had an area where there were photos of deceased people in your family, which we call ancestors, right? And around those photos, you may have had things to honor them, right? You may have had granddaddy's watch somewhere, or, grandma's jar of coins. You may have had some flowers by the photos or anything like that. That is what we would call an ancestor altar. You were practicing ancestor veneration, which is a huge part of Hoodoo. For those of you who do not know, Hoodoo has 5 foundational beliefs: the belief in God, honoring the elements, the air, the water, the fire, the land, the earth, the herb, the root, right? Honoring ancestors, not worshiping. We honor and worship God. We honor and respect the elements. We honor and respect our ancestors. We honor and respect our divine self, our higher divine self, also known as our Ori. And we value, we honor our community, our brothers and sisters, right? And we do that through ancestor veneration. We do that by honoring the elements and utilizing the elements to heal each other and to, manifest and things like that, right? That is what is known as the root work, right? We we honor our community by coming together for things like ring shouts and celebrations and worship services and church and things like that, right? So we honor all of these things and we give all praise due to God. And we are just existing in alignment with our ancestors. We give gratitude to our ancestors for not just surviving but thriving so that we may be, so that we are, so understand that and know that for sure. Know that no weapons formed against you shall prosper because your ancestors made sure of that, right? And that's what we have to understand, that we are protected beings. And Hoodoo Heritage Month is just giving gratitude to all of that. It was founded in 2019 by Mama Rue, and the sister decided that, like, hey, y'all, we need a month to honor this rich cultural history. Like a lot more, young African American people are returning to these cultural practices and they're putting names on it, right? They're remembering that, like, oh, I grew up being told to burn my hair or flush my hair. That's hoodoo, right? Because why were you told to do that? Because you didn't want somebody to have access to your DNA and be able to do some root work on you, right? That wasn't for your wellness. So that's why you were told to do that. Don't let somebody sweep your feet because it'll bring you bad luck. If they sweep your feet, you got to spit on a broom. All of that is hoodoo, right? A lot of the superstitions, not splitting the pole, having to stick together and be community. If you split the pole, you divide the community. That is spiritual root work, hoodoo practice. And the idea of working the root, the practice, the art of working the roots, utilizing the herbs, the land, the water, the fire, to heal each other and heal ourselves. That is the root work that we speak of. So if you grew up on salves and teas and herbs and hot toddies and things like that, you too grew up around root work, right? And again, a lot of it's known popularly now as hoodoo, right? So Hoodoo Heritage Month is just honoring all of that. Now, what does it look like to honor Hoodoo Heritage Month or participate in Hoodoo Heritage Month? Differs for everybody. A lot of times people will release like calendars, right? So there'll be different calendars that have like day, like today, day one, we honor Nat Turner. Day two, we honor Fannie Lou Hamer. Day three, like so on and so forth. Sometimes people will pick a day of the week. It looks different depending on like what group you're in or whatever. I always advise you follow your Ori, follow your highest divine self, right? Honoring Hoodoo Heritage Month for you may simply look like practicing intuitive self-care, right? It may look like doing healing work because that is what your ancestors would want you to do. That is something that they wish they had time to focus on most often, right? That's something that many of them did despite the circumstances they were in. So sometimes honoring Hoodoo Heritage Month looks like resting. Sometimes it looks like just enjoying peace and meditating and sitting out in the sun, Sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it is enhancing your ancestor veneration. You may feel called to go visit some of your ancestors' resting space, right? Go to the mausoleum, go to the grave, the cemetery, and give some offerings, pay homage. You may feel called to go to the water, right? And honor the water and give offering, right? You may feel called to do whatever. You may feel called to pray. So really just go within and ask your Ori to guide you on how to honor Hoodoo Heritage Month in a way that enhances you, that aligns you with the lineage, with the spiritual practices that your ancestors rightfully laid out. And let me just say, to all my indigenous Black people, because I told y'all I posted the video on social. To all my indigenous Black people, I hear you. I hear you. They say we wasn't all bought here on boats. Some of us have been here. I get it. I get it. But let's think about this. Today, do you believe that you are 100% pure through and through indigenous Black? And I say that because oftentimes people feel like, I'm not, we're going to get into the new moon, but I got to say this, huh? oftentimes we feel like we have to stand up for one part of our Black history. And in order to do that, we have to reject the other. So anytime we bring up like Hoodoo Heritage Month, and we talk about the history of Hoodoo Heritage Month, and we talk about how a lot of it comes from our African ancestors who were brought over, who were forced here, and they worked to preserve their practices and they hid them in the church. Oftentimes people feel like they have to mention that, nope, not all of them was brought here, and I get that. But this is a time to honor the ones who were, right? This is a time to honor the ones who did. So you don't have to reject that history to be open to and accept Indigenous history. You don't have to down that history to acknowledge Indigenous history. I think that both are equally important, both are equally valuable. And when it's Indigenous Peoples Day, we will honor Indigenous Peoples Day. Right now, we're focused on Hoodoo Heritage Month, and a part of Hoodoo Heritage Month, because a part of Hoodoo is Indigenous practices, and we give gratitude for that as well, you know. But I just have to say that, like, we don't have to downplay a part of our history to upplay another portion of our history. Let's honor all of our ancestors. Let's give respect and gratitude to all of it, right? And let's just be mindful, you know. Let's just be mindful. Okay. So happy Hoodoo Heritage Month. If you are in the Wellness community, you already know our book of the month in alignment with Hoodoo Heritage Month is going to be the Book of Juju by my sister Queen Juju Bay. Shout out to Juju Bay, sis. I don't know if you're watching this, but much love and gratitude to you. Sis reached out to me and said, I wrote a book. I'm going to send you a copy. And I was like, okay, girl. And she sent the copy, and it's up. It's right here. She sent the copy, and this is, oh, I don't know if y'all can see. There we go. This is the Book of Juju by Juju Bay. So this is our book of the month in the wellness community for Hoodoo Heritage Month. And it is African spirituality for healing, liberation, and self-discovery. So it's a great introduction to African spirituality. It talks all about ancestor veneration, altar work, some about ATRs and things like that. So if you are new to African spirituality, if you have questions, of course, I have a lot of content, but this is a great book, right? For you to get like a nice summary, a nice introduction to African spirituality, and really get a deeper understanding. So wellness community, this is our book of the month. Y'all already know that. And we will get started with reading this on Saturday. Okay. Now, y'all, let's get into this new moon and Libra. Let me pull my notes up, baby. We also have a solar eclipse, which I'm very excited about. Baby, it's eclipse season. It's eclipse season. And before I say anything about a new moon in Libra or anything like that, let me just say this. For eclipse season, sit your ass down. Huh? Sit your ass down. Because the eclipses is going to do enough. It's going to move you enough. The eclipse is going to shake you and shimmy you enough. The eclipse has got us Harlem shaking. You hear me? These eclipses ain't no hope. I'm telling you now, okay? So sit your ass down, okay? The weather, y'all know I'm in Atlanta. Y'all probably tired of me saying this. Like, bitch, you tell us every live that you in Atlanta. You're damn right. I'm in Atlanta, okay? Hurricane Helen came and done whooped on people. Thank God I'm well and my block was good. But we give love and send healing energy to all the people who still getting whooped on by Hurricane Helen. It really devastated a lot of people. A lot of my folks in Augusta, y'all know my family is from Augusta area, that whole area. I have a lot of family in Augusta and stuff. And y'all, they are still without power. And they're telling them that they will start restoring power for more people around October 5th. So they will have gone 2 full weeks and some without power. You know, people in Florida have been devastated, a lot of lives lost, sending a lot of love and healing energy to everybody affected by Hurricane Helen. Also here in Atlanta, we had a biolab chemical plant explode or catch fire or whatever, and it's releasing chlorine gas into the air. So we've been getting emergency alerts every day. But again, thank God, my area, we are okay. I have a lot of people in the surrounding areas have been saying that they've been experiencing a lot of symptoms of like eyes burning, throat burning, and things like that because it is chlor. They're saying that their area smells heavily like chlorine. Again, thank God my area is okay, but sending a lot of love and healing energy to everybody who's affected by that. Y'all see what's going on with child, things is going on. I can't even go down the damn list. We'll be here all day. Things is going on. People going on to the upper room, sending love to John Amos family, the family of Dikembe Mutombo. So many RIP since our last live. The eclipses is eclipsing. Folks is falling out all over the internet. Folks is arguing and going back and forth. It's a lot. Sit your ass down. The eclipse said, bitch, we shaking shit up. Sit down. Okay, everybody just sit and be still. Remember how when we was in preschool, you had to pull out that blue mat and take a nap? Go pull out your little blue cot and take a nap. This is not the season, but this is fall. Okay, y'all know fall is my favorite season. I'm a winter girly too. I'm a winter birthday girly. I'm a winter girl too. But fall is a top two, and I don't know if it's number two, but top two. Fall, winter is it for me. Okay. So happy fall, happy autumn. I didn't see y'all for the autumn. I saw the wellness committee, but I didn't see y'all, the YouTube tribe, for the autumn equinox. So happy fall, happy autumn to y'all. You know, my little fall jingle. 'Tis the season to be a baddie. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to write somebody daddy. Fa la 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 la. Happy fall, y'all. Okay, this is the time to bring out your burgundies and your deep greens, all your earth tones. Okay, this is the time. The pumpkin spices and the cinnamons. Okay, happy fall. Now, this new moon in Libra, y'all. So new moons are all about setting intention and manifesting. And Libra is a cardinal air sign, right? And I want to acknowledge Libra energy because I love me a good Libra, right? Libras are all about balancing the scales. Libras are all about justice. Libras are all about restoration, right? And it's interesting that it's eclipse season and we have our new moon in Libra because, baby, when I say the scales are being balanced, justice is being had, we are deep into the karmic season. Okay, so we're seeing a lot. There's a lot of revelations going on. It's just a lot of things happening, right? And that is, I truly, and as crazy as it sounds, you know, when you have so much happening and it could be received or it could seem like it's devastation, oftentimes, y'all, it's not about devastation. It's really about restoration, right? It's really about a transition, a transformation. And when people think about Libra energy and they think about that balancing the scales, oftentimes they think it's, oh, it's balanced, so it's peace. Everything is balanced, so it's calm. For things to be balanced, something has to come up and something has to go down. You know, for things to be balanced, something has to be lost and something has to be gained, right? For things to be balanced, right? So balancing season is a season of transformation. And as we know, eclipses bring us transformation. It's important to acknowledge that Libra is ruled by Venus. The ruling planet of Libra is Venus. So all about love and beauty and values, that's the energy of Venus, right? So we have an energy of transformation, bringing us balance centered in love and beauty and balancing our values, deepening our understanding, our knowledge of self, right? Now with this solar eclipse, y'all, eclipses, as I just talked about, bring us transformation, right? It brings us a lot of change energy. When we have a solar eclipses force us to go within and look at ourselves, get a deeper understanding of ourselves, knowledge of self. When you have a solar eclipse occur, it will often look like the moon. You'll see the new moon, so it'll look black, right? And then you'll see the ring of fire. And it's a very interesting view. Unfortunately, I don't believe that we'll be able to see it here in North America, but it'll be visible in South America, I believe. Now, this is the thing. We'll all feel the energy of the solar eclipse. So you have a lot of change and transformation coming with a deeper understanding of knowledge of self, right? That is the energy of the solar eclipse, but it will all bring us balance. It's happening under this Libra energy. So the goal during this time is to really go within and get a deeper understanding of self. Now, the beautiful thing about this, though, is the deeper understanding is not just going to come from self, it's also going to happen in community. A lot of healing work, and I say healing because we have Chiron, our wounded healer, retrograde and opposing our new moon in Libra and our solar eclipse. A lot of our transformation, a lot of our change will come from healing community. Okay, it will come from healing community, and community will be healed through understanding. So, this is going to be a good time to deepen your understanding. And hear me close, hear me close. You may need to deepen your understanding of the people who hurt you the most. Okay, look at your community, or even what you once considered the community for you, and you may have to deepen your understanding of the people who hurt you the most. And not to say that when you deepen your understanding, or that deeper understanding of them, that means that they get a pass for what they have done. You just need to understand so that you don't become them, right? You don't want to become what hurt you. There needs to be a release that happens for you to be able to elevate, for you to be able to find that sacred balance. And a lot of that release will come when you deepen your understanding of who they are and how they even got to the space where they could have done whatever it is that they did to you. How did they manifest to become this person? How did they manifest to think that this behavior was okay? So deepen your understanding of your community. This is a good time to have those tough conversations and get a lot of resolve, because we have Mercury, our planet of communication, conjunct with our new moon in Libra and our solar eclipse. So a lot of this deeper understanding of community will come from having those tough conversations, but they won't be as tough because Mercury is direct and is bringing some ease in communication, which again will bring healing because that Chiron retrograde is opposing. So the challenge is going to be to heal. But in order to heal, you will have to have those conversations, deepen the understanding, conversations with self and with others in your community, to deepen your understanding of who they are, who you are, and really get the restoration you need to feel the balance and feel the healing that you need to elevate. Okay. So I would heavily advise that for this new moon in Libra, right, for this solar eclipse, of course, new moons are all about setting intentions and manifesting. The goal is to manifest balance during this time. The goal is to manifest healing during this time. But in order to do that, we need to set the intention to deepen our understanding of self and others, deepen our understanding of self and community. So allow that to be the intention you set during this time. And you could clarify that and write that however you like. You know, it's definitely up to you, but it's a good time to set the intention to deepen your understanding and do the work, right? Do the work to deepen your understanding, which again looks like a lot of communication with self and others. So journaling is going to be good during this time. And I will share some journal prompts later on. Now, the good thing about this is that with the new moon in Libra, Libras are very intuitive, right? So there will be a lot of enhanced intuition, which is going to be good for us, going to be great for us. Enhanced intuition, a lot of like clarity on what to say, what to do, how to move. Okay. So that enhanced intuition is going to be amazing for us to have those conversations, because your tongue will be guided. And that's going to be important. Sometimes before I speak, y'all, and I'll give some herbs later on to help with communication for anybody who has a blocked throat chakra. Well, this community, we talked about this when we did our Sunday film watch party for colored girls, right? We talked about healing the chakra points, right? And one of the things we talked about is healing the blocked throat chakra. And it's important to do the work, have the herbs, have the crystals and all that stuff, but you also want to ask spirit to guide your tongue. Guide my tongue. I always ask spirit that, please guide my tongue. Guide my tongue, right? Sometimes it's important to put a little honey on your tongue, right? To sweeten your words up. So if you know that you are going to have a tough conversation, if you know you're going to ask some questions and you may get some answers that you don't necessarily like or prefer, ask spirit to guide your tongue. Sometimes I'll say, mind my mouth. Mind my mouth, spirit, mind my mouth for me. When I don't have the strength to mind my mouth for me. Please, okay? And you'll find, let me tell you, you'll find that you start choking on your words. And some people think if they're choking on their words, that means their throat chakra is blocked. Sometimes it's a little overactive, and that spirit saying, hold on, calm down a little bit. Watch that mouth. Sometimes that's what it is, and that's what we need. So understand that. And again, allow your intuition to guide you on what questions to ask, how to move on, but also allow your spirit, your intuition to guide you on what areas of your shadow you need to focus on healing, right? What areas of your shadow do you need to gain a deeper understanding of to enhance your knowledge of self? What areas of your shadow do you need to heal to be a better version of you? So allow your intuition to guide you on that. And that's one of the reasons I said when it comes to honoring Hoodoo Heritage Month, y'all, it's important that something that we do is practice intuitive self-care. And I say intuitive self-care because oftentimes, people think self-care is, oh, I'm going to take a nap, which it is, or I'm going to do a facial, which it can be. But sometimes intuitive self-care is really doing that deep shadow work that might have you in a corner rocking somewhere. That is intuitive self-care, taking a break from healing and fixing everybody else to heal and fix yourself. That is intuitive self-care. And oftentimes we distract ourselves from that work. And I get it, right? Oftentimes when we do have a moment alone to just be where we don't have to take care of anybody else, we go do the facial, which in that moment, the facial isn't self-care. The facial is a distraction because what you need to do is journal. What you need to be doing is meditating. What you need to be doing is going within. But instead, you're going to go take the bath. You're going to go do the facial. You're going to go do your hair. And you're still going to call it self-care, but it's not the self-care that you need. It's not the self-care that spirit is calling you to do, right? So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Practice intuitive self-care. What is the self-care that your spirit is calling you to do? And it may be the facial, it may be the spiritual bath, but it may be you need to go lay in that bed and cry, or you need to do this, answer this journal prompt, and you need to get a deeper understanding of yourself through this. You need to meditate. You need to go sit outside and sunbathe for a moment and just be and connect with the earth, connect with nature, connect with the sun, with the moon, right? You need to go to the water, right? And receive that energy, that divine feminine energy, that Yemoja energy or that Oshun energy, right? You need to go and just be at the water, right? Be nurtured, be fed, you need to do that. So, and follow that intuitive self-care, okay? Now, another thing, and then we're going to move to the journal prompts, renewed energy. And that's the good thing about eclipse season. As I said earlier, with eclipse season, it brings a lot of transitions, a lot of transformations that ain't always easy, right? It looks tough. And this is why it's important to always acknowledge and send a lot of love and healing energy out there to the people who need it, But the thing about it is it brings the energy of renewal, right? It brings the energy of refreshing, right? So think about it. In order to renew, in order to refresh, something has to be taken down, something has to be removed, something has to be destroyed, right? In order to build, you have to break ground, right? So think about that. In order to build a new home, you have to first break ground, right? Sometimes you may have to knock down the old home that was there in the first place and then build something new. So there's an energy of renewal, a renewal energy in the air, in the atmosphere. Embrace that. Don't run from change. Don't run from transition. And don't run with sometimes the rough spots that come with change and transition. Embrace it, but always know that it is for your wellness. Okay? Now, journal prompts. I feel like we moving. Okay, I feel like we moving. I did touch on everything. I touched on the solar eclipse. I touched on the conjunction with Mercury. I touched on the opposing Chiron, the squaring Mars, which is, of course, for us to take action. Mars is our planet of action. And I'm already telling y'all the actions to take, right? When it comes to setting your intentions, practicing your intuitive self-care, having those tough conversations, but all with the intent to deepen your understanding and to heal, which will bring you restoration and balance, the balance that you need. Okay. Now, journal prompts. Let's get into it. Y'all, we 28 minutes. 28 minutes. We moving. Huh? This is the live I should have said I ain't gonna be before you long. Sometimes I'll be like, I ain't gonna be before you long, it'll be an hour and a half. This is the one that I should have said it. I ain't gonna be before you long. That's what I should have said. Okay. Journal prompts. What does balance look like for you? What does balance look like for you? Second journal prompt. What does freedom mean to you? What does freedom mean to you? Third journal prompt. What needs to be healed within you to feel free? What needs to be healed within you to feel free? Because as we know, the internal manifests as the external. So freedom starts within. So what needs to be healed within you to feel free? According to your definition of freedom, nobody else's. What needs to be healed within you to feel free? Fourth journal prompt. Who is someone in your life that you wish you had a deeper understanding of? What questions would you ask them? And that's really to help you start those tough conversations, right? What questions would you ask them? And sometimes it's good to do this. If you saw my last live, I told y'all that I did that, right? I did that work where I asked deeper conversations. And before I had the conversation, I just kind of like in my phone, just kind of like jotted down some questions. Like, I want to know about this. I want to know about that. And because y'all know folks be having, it be family secrets, it be things happening. I was asking the questions, and I had to preface when I ain't gonna tell nobody, but tell me, do you really have that baby by such and such and such? Is that really your baby? Tell me. I asked the questions and I got a lot of honest answers. Okay. So sometimes you need to script those questions. That's called scripting. Script those questions. What questions would you ask to get that deeper understanding? Right. Right. And remember that when you're having these conversations, it's no judgment, right? It's no judgment. Our goal is to understand. So we're not judging them for right or wrong or up or down. We're judging them to understand how they became and manifested to the space that they are in now. Okay. Deepen your understanding, not deepen your judgment. There's a huge difference there. And make sure that you're moving intentionally to understand. Okay. And the fifth journal. Y'all know it wasn't gonna be. Y'all know I wasn't gonna make it without having a little jiggles. Y'all know I wasn't gonna make it through without a little cause you do. The fifth journal prompt. Okay. Describe how divine feminine energy and sacred masculine energy show up in you. What does balance of both energies look like and feel like for you? A part of that Libra energy, that divine balance, is a balance of the divine feminine and the sacred masculine. I have videos on those as well, right? But a part of the Libra energy is the balance of those two energies, right? And really the balance and the coming together of all, right? So understand, what does the divine feminine and sacred masculine look like and feel like for you? How do they show up? How do you know that they are balanced within you? Okay. What does it look like and feel like for you when those energies are balanced? When do you choose to tap into your sacred masculine? When do you choose to tap into your divine feminine? What area, which aspect, or which energy do you feel like you may need to enhance? Like I said, when it comes to balance, sometimes something has to go down for something else to come up, right? Think about the balancing of the scales. Sometimes more needs to be added and some needs to be taken away to balance the scales. So which one do you feel like you need to enhance? What do you feel like you need to kind of soften up on and loosen up on and kind of put to the back burner? I noticed that for myself, I was so focused on enhancing my divine feminine energy that, for a moment, for a brief moment, because I ain't no pussy hoe. For a brief moment, I had stepped out of my sacred masculine. Okay, for a brief moment, I realized that I was moving a little too emotional, and I was allowing my emotions and things to guide me too much. I was allowing my divine feminine, my nurturing energy, my healing energy to guide me too much, right? And I was moving out of a space of nurture as opposed to a space of protection. I was moving too much out of emotion as opposed to logic, which is that sacred masculine. So I had to, like, all right, you got the divine feminine thing down, bitch, use your head. Okay, come on now. You tap into your logic. huh? And I was getting little signs that I was too deep in my divine feminine and forgetting my sacred masculine. And then a big event happened that showed me, like, if you would have used your logic would have told you, but you let your emotions guide you in a direction that you shouldn't have gone in, right? So I had to steer it a little bit, right? And get back to the middle of the road, get back to the center, So again, what does it look like for you? What energy, what aspect of self do you need to enhance? What aspect of yourself do you kind of need to like chill on a little bit, right? What does balance of both energies look like for you? Okay. Now, let's get into these crystals. Crystals for this new moon in Libra and solar eclipse. Sunstone. Sunstone is for confidence and creativity. Sunstone, also emotional balance. Sunstone. Black tourmaline for protection. Opal for balance and prosperity. Y'all know opal is that's that Libra energy for sure. Selenite for intuition. And lapis lazuli or turquoise for enhanced communication. Okay, so running through the one more time. Sunstone, black tourmaline, opal, selenite, and lapis lazuli or turquoise, both used for enhanced communication. Now, herbs. With these herbs, I'm going to advise that you make a smoke bowl, a smudge bowl, and you smudge with these herbs. Or, and I'm gonna tell you which one. One of them you take a spiritual bath with, and then the other one you can place under the tongue. Okay, so I'll tell you when I get to which ones is what. I'll tell you. The first herb, hyssop. Hyssop, smudge with it. Hyssop is good for purification, and you could smudge with that. You could make a floor wash. Hyssop is really universal. But I advise that you make a smoke bowl with hyssop, and the next one, which is Hyjon. Hyjon is good for justice and balance. Okay, justice and balance. Hyjon. The third herb, myrrh. Also smudge with this as well. Peace and protection. So you could do a smudge bowl with hyssop, Hyjon, and myrrh. And if you want to, you can also add some bay leaf to that for purification if you want to. I'm giving some bonus stuff, some extra stuff. Now, this ain't on the list, right? But you can add some bay leaf to that as well. You can add some sage to that. Also for purification and protection, you can add lavender for peace and make you like a nice, beautifully scented smudge bowl. You can also add some star anise in there or some allspice for abundance and prosperity. Okay, so that'll be a nice little smudge bowl, and it'll smell really good too. That's why I said the allspice in there as well, because that's going to enhance the smell of the star anise as well. Okay, fourth herb, aloe vera, and I want you to take a spiritual bath with the aloe vera. That's going to be for healing. Okay, so this is a good time to take an aloe bath, right? Or even if you want to just take a shower, and while you're in the shower, you rub yourself down with the aloe. You can get a fresh aloe leaf. I should have bought mine over here. I literally just bought a new one, but you could get a fresh aloe leaf from any grocery store. You can get it from Whole Foods, any type of West Indian market. If you live in New York, we go to the Jamaican spots and get the whole aloe leaf. You can get it from a farmer's market, but get you an aloe leaf. If you have an aloe plant, you can use that, of course, and cut a piece off, and you can just rub yourself down in it, or you could cut it up and put it in your bath water. Okay, so aloe for healing. And then the last herb is going to be eucalyptus or peppermint for clear communication, right? And you could do eucalyptus tea or do a peppermint tea, or you could use the oil and put a drop under your tongue and practice breath work to bring ease to communication, okay? Or oil of oregano. That works as well. Okay, same purpose. All right. You can also add a couple of drops in your water and do like a water, like do like a oregano water, do a mint water or something like that. So let me give y'all a good little tip, right? When you go to dinner, you're having dinner with somebody, or lunch, breakfast, or whatever, or on a date, huh? You want a little zaddy date? I told y'all tis the season to be a baddie. Fa la 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 la. Tis the season to ride somebody daddy. Fa la 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 la. If you want a little date or something, little zaddy zate or something, a good thing to do is always get mint in your water. Always get mint on your in your water. When you're at dinner, you're on a date, you're having communication, you're in a business meeting, always get mint in your water for ease and peace in communication. Okay. And if you could add a little honey, that'll be even better. Okay. But always get mint in your water to help with that communication, help guide your communication, bring ease to your communication. Okay. So that's just like a good little spiritual tip. And it's a normal thing to do. Nobody would even think anything of it, right? Like, oh, can I have a little mint in my water? Nobody would, and the restaurants always do it. I've never been to a restaurant, they tell me they don't have mint or they can't do it. So they always do it, right? You even go to IHOP and get some mint in your water, child. So get mint in your water, enhance that communication, and it'll just help the conversation at the dinner, the business meeting, the date, whatever, to flow a little better. Okay. All right. I love y'all dearly. Wellness community, I shall see y'all soon. To everybody else, hey, love y'all. Happy Hoodoo Heritage Month. If you don't follow me on the socials, get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Okay. I love y'all dearly. Happy new moon in Libra. Happy solar eclipse. Remember that the new moon in Libra peaks on October 2nd at 2:49 p.m. Eastern time. And the shadow period will last until October 5th. Okay. And eclipse season is eclipse season. So that's going to carry us through the year. All right. So energy of transformation and change throughout the rest of the year. Okay. Remember that. I love y'all dearly, family. Much peace, much wellness, and y'all have a good night. Happy first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Much peace, y'all.